along with my partner Pat. To make your visit here more enjoyable, we ask you to remain seated at all times with your hands and feet inside the wagon. We will be stopping at the top of the hill, so you may take time to enjoy the view. Please remain in your seat until we make a complete stop, and then you can safely leave the wagon. Thank you for your cooperation. We hope you have a wonderful ride while Pat and I give you a little tour of the flower field.
Across from the Armstrong exit is the Rose Walk of Fame. This rose display provides a living history of the development of the rose. The rose is one of nature's oldest flowers. Believed to have originated in China, the rose is cultivated today in many forms and varieties. Roses are grown for their novelty: bud form, flower form, color, habit, quantity of blooms, vigor or renewal, fragrance, foliage, and appearance, along with the resistance to insect and plant diseases. We invite you to stop at the Rose Garden and enjoy their beauty and their fragrance. And be sure to visit our Rose Garden for other planting demonstrations on your tour.
And then there's Santa's Playground. Kids and adults will want to visit our Santa's Playground, enjoy the memories of old in our magical village, and transport you into a Christmas wonderland. In our newly built Paul Ecke Jr. family barn, nestled among the flowers with breathtaking ocean views, folks are invited to create their own unique event with a capacity for 200 guests. This one-of-a-kind experience is an ideal venue for a wedding, a reception, a corporate or non-profit fundraiser, birthday party, or quinceañera. Contact the flower fields for more information.
You know how, if our visitors have the time, they should make sure they stop and stroll through the 1,500 square foot greenhouse filled with world-famous Ecke poinsettias. Enjoy hundreds of exciting poinsettias with over 20 varieties of unusual plants. Learn about the Ecke family, a producer of the country's best-selling potted plant, the poinsettia. So, Hal, what else can we enjoy while visiting the flower fields?
You know what's amazing to me, Pat, is the sweet pea maze. Try to find the solution to this one-of-a-kind living maze. Immerse yourself in thousands of fragrant and colorful old-fashioned sweet pea blossoms. There is more than a third of a mile of walking paths in this patriotic color display to explore, to amuse, and entertain you. Cymbidiums have also become a popular orchid for the California gardener. These plants tolerate night temperatures down to as low as 35 degrees, making them very adaptable to California conditions. The coastal conditions here at the flower fields in Carlsbad are ideal for the culture of Cymbidiums. These conditions grow strong, robust plants that are free of pests and diseases. Our Cymbidium varieties are hand-picked based on several important criteria: ease of growth, temperature tolerance, large flower size, and color. The Flower Fields Cymbidium Orchids project is funded to the City of Carlsbad Agricultural Mitigation Grant. The City of Carlsbad is an active supporter of the flower field, and the Cymbidium Orchid project is a continuation of their commitment to the success of this iconic destination called the flower fields.
Let's talk a little bit about the history of the flower fields. Ranunculus. Who would have thought that this simple flower, so difficult to pronounce and even harder to spell, would become the colorful cultural emblem of Carlsbad? The seeds of today's flower fields were planted in the 1920s up the coast in Los Angeles, where urbanization led horticulturists such as Luther Gage to look elsewhere. Gage moved south and put down roots in Carlsbad, bringing with him gladiolus, freesias, anemones, and is the yet unsung ranunculus.
Frank Frazee, father of Edwin, originally worked for Luther Gage growing English peas. Eventually, Frank began growing ranunculus on his own with the help of Edmund, his son, who quit high school to join his dad's business. In the 1950s, through efforts to enhance the Frazee's competitive edge, Edwin developed an exceptional bulb with an unparalleled infusion of petals. This double flower positioned him as the nation's foremost commercial ranunculus grower.
In 1993, with Edwin Frizzi's desire to retire, Paul Ecke Jr. formed a joint venture with Laura Milano and Company to concentrate on growing beautiful flowers for the whole world to enjoy. Paul Ecke Jr. looked at tourism as an important way to keep the ranunculus field financially viable. The stage was set for the enduring preservation and the promotion of this enchanting cultural emblem of Carlsbad. Hence, the flower fields at Carlsbad Ranch was
Nestled high on the hillside overlooking the Pacific Ocean, the flower fields at Carlsbad Ranch bloom annually into a 50-acre rainbow of bright, giant Tecolote ranunculus flowers. Millions of colorful blossoms create fields of dreams to walk through and experience up close every mid-March and mid-May. Native to Asia Minor, the ranunculus is a member of the buttercup family of flowers. This unique blossom is also known as the Persian buttercup or Ranunculus asiatic. Besides here at the flower field, ranunculus are also grown in France, Israel, South Africa, Australia, and the Mediterranean. Originally, the flowers were single-petaled and ranged only in shades of yellow and red.
The beautiful colors and the fullness of the flowers you see today are due to the careful selection and cultivation done by Mr. Edwin Frizzi over many years. If nature provided a full flower or an unusual color, Mr. Frizzi would save the tubers and plant it the following year in the mother bed. His selective process resulted over the years in full-petaled flowers in 13 beautiful colors, including Picotee, which is the multicolored blossom.
These flowers are also unique in many ways. They have two ways of reproducing. They are either planted as a tuber or by their seed, which is more difficult. The flower has no fragrance and counts on the wind for pollination. Because they lack nectar, they do not attract pollinating insects. And if you look closely, you will notice the ranunculus plant has three types of colors. The bottom leaves look a little bit like strawberry plant leaves. Then in the middle, the leaves look like celery. And at the very top, close to the blossom, the foliage resembles parsley leaves. The flower fields is planted during the months of September, October, and November. Planting is by seed, and the seed is so small that it's necessary to mix it with sand and water. Distribution of this mixture is by machine, which also tops the mixture with a layer of mulch. Fertilization is with a commercial balanced liquid fertilizer.
Depending upon the weather, watering is 2 to 3 times per week. During the blooming season, workers will weed out the colors that are in the wrong sections. We cut only 1 to 2% of the flowers you see. We ship throughout the United States and Canada. Then, in mid-April, the workers will hand tag the healthiest plants with the largest, fullest flowers and the brightest colors. These plants will be dug up by hand in June and July for the mother block, which is planted again next fall.
Around the middle of May, after the gates are closed, we stop watering the plants and they are allowed to die back. In June and July, after the plants have died down, the irrigation system is removed, and a machine similar to a potato harvester harvests the bulbs. We harvest approximately 200,000 bulbs per acre. These bulbs are then hand-rolled to loosen off the dirt and then dried on drying tables in the fields. Bulb grading is done in accordance with size and sent to our local bulb distributor, California Flower Bulb Company. From there, they are packaged and shipped throughout the world. The bulbs, which are actually tubers, are sold as Tecolote giant ranunculus. Then in August, fumigation of the land begins. Pre-plant fertilizer is then worked into the soil, and in September, the whole cycle repeats itself. In order to produce a better crop and at the same time reduce expenses, there are several experiments going on at the fields. Experimental projects include drip irrigation, using reclaimed water, coated seed, and trying different planting dates to extend the growing season.